The end of crypto. That's what they're saying now. Or is this a controlled transition in an old banking system dying off? In today's video, I'm going to break down some facts, figures, numbers, logic. I want to share with you that this is the greatest time in human history. Here's some facts. There is no get rich quick. A lot of people are going to make a lot of money in crypto as we go into 2024 after the Bitcoin halving. But the truth is, I believe 99% of people are going to get wrecked because they're believing that crypto is their retirement. Crypto is not your retirement. Now, as things get more volatile, as there's more resistance, just like anything in life, in order to build great muscle, you need a lot of resistance. Think about that for just a moment. What I'm here to do is make the complex very, very simple for you. My brain works in logical circuit. I have dyslexia. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I'm able to see things forward and backwards and tie the dots and make the complex simple. I believe with my dyslexia, when I was in banking school, I had to really pay attention. And because I paid attention, I now get paid for paying attention. Think about that for just a moment. Let that sink in on what I just said. Because I understand the game and I paid attention to what they were doing. As they said, look this way, I looked this way. As they said, the banking system operates this way, I looked that way. And when I read the book, The Creature of Jekyll Island, while I was in banking school, I paid attention to everything I was learning. And I learned how banks operate. And I'll tell you what, right now, there's a systemic problem with the banking system around liquidity. And the rules are being changed as we go along. Now, here's what I'm going to share with you guys. It's going to be the greatest time in human history for some people and a catastrophic time for some people. What is the difference? It's how you respond emotionally. Every circumstance is neutral. Your emotions are not. So if you're emotional about these markets and you're following YouTubers, TikTokers, and people telling you you're going to get rich quick and you're chasing these pumps and dumps and meme coins, you're going to get wrecked. Facts. But if you learn to be an intelligent investor, like the book Benjamin Graham that Warren Buffett read when he was 12 years old, if you learn to become an intelligent investor and understand that not all cryptos are going to make it and not all investments are going to make it, and you create a diversified portfolio within crypto and outside of crypto, you're going to do very, very well. Number one is you need to be patient. Number two, you need to be persistent. And number three, you need to be disciplined. And you need to get out of an emotional state of mind. Everybody gets wealthy. Well, not everybody. The people who get wealthy, who are non-emotional and understand this moment from right here today till 2024 is the greatest time to become an investor. But you have to have an exit plan. So I'm going to go through some facts, figures, numbers, logic. We're going to watch some longer videos. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you how I've helped over 6,000 warriors worldwide get their shit together, understanding there is no get rich quick. It starts here and it starts here. So if you're interested in joining my Warrior Academy, go to the end of this video. So we're going to dive right in. Okay. So first thing we're going to watch is Senator Kennedy. After the SVP, this is about SVB, excuse me. This is March 22nd, 2023. Now, here's the thing. The regulators failed to regulate the banks properly. Or is this a controlled demolition of the old financial system? Problem, reaction, solution. Whoever creates the problem creates a reaction in the people, comes up with the solution. Distributed ledger technology, on-demand liquidity. But it seems like they're pushing innovation out of America. It seems like we're handing over the power to China. Or, again, is this a massive amount of resistance as they pull it back to buy in, to destroy 99% of cryptos, and there'll be 1% left, just like the auto boom, just like the internet boom? It's going to be no different with the crypto boom. So let's listen to Senator Kennedy around this, and it's pretty interesting. This is going to be a longer video, and then I'm going to show you how somebody is saying that crypto is done in America.
Fact number one. It is a fact that in January of 2019, the Federal Reserve, which is one of the banking regulators in charge of supervising the bank, issued a warning to the bank. This is 4 years ago, over its risk management systems.
And he's talking about Silicon Valley Bank. They issued a around their management systems, but also didn't, I think it was Forbes or one of the magazines a month before they failed, made them the top 20 banks.
4 years ago, the Fed told Silicon Valley Bank that its system to control risk was not up to snuff.
Just to give you clarity, he's talking to the president right now. So the president is in this room. They're addressing the president.
Fact number 2. Last fall, short sellers and private bank analysts said the same thing. What, 5 months ago? 6 months ago? Fact number 3. Some of my colleagues have said, you know, we didn't have sufficient regulation. I don't know how you regulate greed. I don't know how you regulate stupidity, but I'm referring now to the management of Silicon Valley Bank. But it wasn't a failure of regulation that caused Silicon Valley Bank to go under. It was the failure to enforce the rules that we already have. I just explained to you here.
Oh, he's sharing, obviously they're not enforcing the rules that they already have, and they're trying to create more rules on non-financial bank institutions.
Here's the article from the Wall Street Journal. The Federal Reserve, one of the banking regulators in charge of Silicon Valley Bank, knew in January of 2019, the bank was criticized for its risk control practices.
Okay, so he goes on and on. It's beautiful. He just goes in, right? So they were notified around their practices, but they just let it go. It's interesting, right? Well, if you really dive into, if you really dive into this, right? So now what I'm going to go into is show you what's happening with the banks, okay? So Silicon Valley Bank was the first collapse of the banking system. It caused contagion, right? Where people started to pull deposits. Now, what's happening within your banking system is people are pulling deposits into non-bank financial institutions, okay? Now they're trying to regulate non-bank financial institutions. They're trying to push cryptocurrency out of the United States or innovation out of the United States. They're basically trying to balance a bank run on the normal monetary system, right? There's a liquidity crisis. We are the liquidity guys, okay? Every single dollar in the system is someone else's debt. The more volatile, the uglier it becomes, the wealthier you can become. The more volatile and the more ugly it becomes, and the harder the pullback on the back end of this year, the more you can buy assets, real world assets at a very, very cheap price. So now we're going to transition into talking about outflows of bank deposits. Now, this is important because when bank deposits go down, the banks can't lend. And I'm telling you, banks are not lending right now. So I run a 7-figure company. I have multiple companies. We run a lot of money through the banks. I'm starting a new company on July 1st, and I was going to the normal bank to get funding, OPM, other people's money. You always use other people's money. So I went to the bank. Lending is no. So I'm going to hard money lenders. So think about it. I'm going to a non-traditional lender in order to get working capital for inventory to start my new business. So it's changing, guys. So I'm going to outside sources think about that. I'm a good depositor. And they're shutting down lending. There's 3 ways that banks make money: interest income, fee income, okay, and capital markets income. The capital markets are trading services, things like that. Fee income, interest income is being smashed. So now fee income, I was about to flip you guys. Fee income was the middle one, is the one, that's what they're doing to us. Fee income is where they're going to make their money. Money's going to move at the speed of light. Everything's going to be tokenized, and they're going to have a fee structure within their banks. Are going to look very different in the next 5 to 10 years.
Manus, I mean, these numbers just broke 15 minutes ago. Quick digestion for you and a quick move outside there of Credit Suisse. What are your main takeaways?
I mean, the drive-by, which happened in the middle of March in terms of the exodus of funds, it could have been a lot worse. This was a drive-by. 61 billion Swiss francs did walk out the door. They did tap up the SNB for liquidity of over 100 billion Swiss francs. So there's undoubted pressure. What they have told us is, or the market had expected, over 100 billion. That was the sort of the fluttering number in the world, in the wind. To put it in context for you, in the fourth quarter of 2022, 110 billion walked out the door. Here we are, 61 billion has gone out the door. That's certainly not as bad as that fourth quarter number. They are taking a goodwill impairment charge in the wealth management business of 1.3 billion. There's a couple of things just to put your head around, Danny, when you look at these numbers. You need to step back and pause. Money walking out a door of a massive institution, a systemically important bank like Credit Suisse. Deposits can fly out the door like that. That's a CHAPS payment. That's done in a matter of minutes in the SWIFT system. Where complicated evolution of this story comes is when clients decide to exit the bank, go with their wealth manager. Those are much more.
Okay, so I want you guys to hear that part. Okay, so what we're balancing, and this is why I think the crypto narrative is happening right now. So where they're balancing right now is just that. People liquidating into non-bank financial institutions, going to their asset managers, pulling it out, and they're like, F this, dude, I'm out of your bank. And that will cause a systemic collapse because contagion causes collapses. Okay, we cause the collapse when we pull our liquidity. So top banks to reveal 521 billion deposit drop, most in a decade. JP Morgan, Citi, Wells Fargo kick off industry reports on Friday. Okay, so all these reports are coming in of bank deposits declining rapidly. U.S. bank deposits fall 76.2 billion, led by largest institutions. This was on April 21st. Okay, so this is kind of a representation. So mostly bank deposits, I apologize, I speak out of school. I'm doing this off the top of my head. They increase about 5 to 10% per year. As you can see this chart as it goes along here. They drop negative 5%, okay, in the beginning of 2023. So that's what you're seeing right now. So you're seeing, as we go back to Senator Kennedy, what he was talking about. He's like, what the hell is going on? You guys have rules in place. You knew that Silicon Valley Bank and banks like this and institutions in general were in a really bad position, but you didn't exercise the current rules you have. But you're implementing more rules for non-bank financial institutions. And the reason you're doing that is because the current depositors are like, screw you, banks. I'm going to move my deposits into non-traditional banking financial, non-bank financials, to my asset manager, to cryptocurrency, to gold, to silver. And that sucks all liquidity out of the banks. And another thing happened when Jerome Powell raised the interest rates. It messed up the 10-year treasury bonds. They took your deposits and put them into 10-year treasury bonds, gave the loan to the government, got a higher interest. The lower term treasury bonds became more attractive. So we have a massive liquidity crisis happening right now. And so this is a interview, and I'm not saying for, against, whatever, but this is Chamath. I can't pronounce his last name. They have a kind of a cool podcast called the All In Podcast. And he talks about, he thinks crypto is dead in America. Now, Chamath can manipulate the market. He can move big money within the market. So some people say he manipulates the market with his words, but anybody who has a large amount in the market, what they say makes a difference, right? And they're making big financial moves. So I feel like this is a good thing, right? And again, I want to make it very clear, guys. I do not have all my eggs in one basket. If cryptocurrency goes to zero, I'm still fine. I'm diversified outside of crypto. I'm diversified in business, leverage life insurance, a little bit of precious metals, right? I bought a property. I'm going into the real estate, things in the future. I'm going to grow into real estate, right? I've matured a lot over the 4 years. Cryptocurrency used to be my only thing. And I realized, holy shit, like that's not your retirement, guys. Cryptocurrency is an opportunity, if you do it correctly, to make a large amount of money to secure and grow that wealth into generational wealth outside of crypto. Okay. And it's like, understand this, like most people, that's what I was saying. Most people get wrecked because they don't have an exit plan. You need to get some of your profits out of the market while everybody's excited, not when they're in euphoria, because you're going to come sliding down the back end. So let's listen to what Chamath has to say. And I'm going to show you some things that are happening within the actual markets.
Your thoughts. SEC obviously sent a Wells notice. We talked about this before, to Brian Armstrong of Coinbase. He said he's thinking about or considering relocating out of the U.S. if
And then I just saw in breaking news this morning that Coinbase is suing the SEC.
the regulatory clarity does not improve.
Crypto's dead in America.
It is dead in America.
Crypto's dead in America. I mean, now you had
Game over.
Gensler. You had Gensler even blaming the banking crisis on crypto. So the United.
Well, I wanted you guys to hear that part because what Senator Kennedy was talking about, Biden is using the crypto collapse to blame the contagion, right? When they actually knew that the banks were effed up in 2019, they knew cryptocurrency was on the forefront of decentralization. And so they knew that the banks were effed. And so they're going to blame it on cryptocurrency to create contagion of people out of crypto and hopefully bring them back in the traditional banking system.
United States authorities have firmly pointed their guns at crypto.
Is it a scapegoat, or was it a fuck around, find out moment for crypto in your mind, or a little bit of both?
I don't know. I just think that they were probably the ones that were the most threatening to the establishment.
Okay.
And they were the ones that, in fairness to the regulators, did push the boundaries more than any other sector of the startup economy.
Okay, so he dives into, I just wanted you guys to hear that. Do I agree with it? I don't think it's going to disappear out of America. I think that would be catastrophic for our country, but who knows? I mean, it looks like they're just driving us off a cliff. But this is the type of stuff that's happening. You know, Franklin Templeton announces a Franklin on-chain U.S. government money fund surpasses 270 million. They are connected to, it says right here, official record to share ownership of via proprietary blockchain integrated system that currently utilizes Stellar blockchain. I mean, it just goes on and on, the connections, right? Former BlackRock Global Equities head running crypto fund. BlackRock CEO touts tokenization, warns U.S. is lagging in innovation. There's this big narrative about U.S. lagging in innovation. You know, Ripple is creating a global impact. I mean, the partners are crazy, and the impact of the liquidity system. And it's just all about bringing the underbanked. I want to show you guys this resource. I highly recommend you go to the FDIC. I watch all these videos on the FDIC. They put this in plain sight, guys. They tell you exactly what's happening. They are preparing for bail-ins. They are preparing for a bank collapse since 2012. They've been preparing 2012. They asked Rosie Rios in 2012 to reduce coin and cash usage. Okay. 2012, the Obama rescue plan was initiated where they started printing money at the speed of light. 2012, they started the bank bail-in committees, okay, which Jay Clayton now sits on the board. In 2012, the FMOC, Financial Services Oversight Committee, was created, where Gary Gensler was the start of that committee and that committee. So think about that. Now, Gary Gensler sits on the board of the SEC. Jay Clayton sits on the board for the FDIC, as there's this transition and contagion. So I think it's the greatest time in human history, in my opinion, but you shouldn't be putting all your eggs into cryptocurrency. That's silly. You should have a diversified portfolio in cryptocurrency, making sure you have an exit plan, because they're coming to regulate it. If it's not underneath the traditional banking system, they're going to try to destroy it in America. But during this opportunity and Bitcoin halving coming up, I think it's May 5th, 2024. Don't quote me on that. Is the Bitcoin halving, which doesn't reduce the supply. It reduces the ability to mine, right? It makes it more of a, it makes it scarcity, right? So Bitcoin will go up, and then altcoins are going to start to flood and profit and gain on the back end of 2024. And you have to start exiting, guys. I'm holding 50% of my utility cryptos long term, and I'm exiting 50% of my cryptos in the next bull run, and I'm putting them into leveraged life insurance, precious metals, real estate, more businesses, and data, information, and attention. So hopefully that helps. If you want to be part of an ecosystem, so you can take a deep breath, learn how to get your shit together. I've helped over 6,000 warriors worldwide understand this is not a get rich quick. Join my revolutionary 120-day challenge. After this video, click the description down below and join for 7 days for free in 2023. I'll see you on the inside. Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.
System is designed to keep you trapped. 2017, I walked out of a high-paid vice president job because I was absolutely miserable. Working 16 to 19 hours a day because that's what the system taught me to do. And what I discovered through countless hours of meditation, research, reading books, understanding how the millionaires and billionaires operate, the system is designed to keep you trapped. Today, I own multiple companies. I travel all over the world. I'm financially free, and that's exactly why I created this community of like-minded warriors coming together called the 3T Warrior Academy. Now, I don't say this to brag. I'm sharing this with you to show you what's possible for you. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to take your life to another level, we believe the Warrior Academy has something for everybody. Processes that take you step by step through discipline, consistent, activities, and that's exactly what you're going to get. Our 120-day challenge, all you have to do is open up the app and take it day by day. We're going to take you through the discipline, consistent activities to take your life to the next level. Within 1 week, you're going to feel a difference. Within a month, people are going to notice a change in you. That's how powerful this 120-day challenge is. So if you're truly ready to break free from the old paradigm into a new paradigm of discipline, consistency, great relationship with your family, financial freedom, and learning the pillars of wealth that'll change your life and generational wealth to come, I'm going to invite you to do our program for 7 days for free. The 120-day challenge has changed over 5,000 warriors' lives worldwide, and we hope to be yours next.
Warriors, let's get your together. Let's go.